Have you ever thought that no one is going to do for you what only you can do? Waiting for someone to save you or push you forward won't solve anything. Real change starts within you, every single day. Nobody is going to build your best version for you. You are your greatest project. If you don't take this seriously, your plans will remain mere dreams. Want to see results? Start by having discipline. Want to live more peacefully? Practice self-control. Want to feel freer? Take responsibility for your actions. Stop waiting for the right moment or depending on your mood. Put in the effort, push yourself, and develop the habit of not giving up easily. Show yourself that you show up even when no one is watching, even without applause. That's where transformation occurs. Before moving on, do something simple yet significant. Write in the comments, "From today on, I commit to growing every day." This isn't just a phrase, it's the beginning of a new path. When you write it down, you're making a commitment, and change begins with that decision. Lesson 1. Take your life seriously. Do you have any idea how you're spending your life's time? I'm not talking about the clock, but about your days, the hours that slip away while you say, "I'll do it later." About the dreams you set aside out of fear or distraction. The truth is, life is happening right now, and the way you live today shapes what comes next, whether you like it or not. Taking life seriously doesn't mean living with heavy burdens. It's about walking with intention. It's knowing that time is limited, and every action builds or destroys some part of you. Some people live as if they have all the time in the world. But the Stoics said, "Memento mori." Remember that you will die. Not as a scare tactic, but as a reminder. Your life matters, and it's passing by. Don't wait for motivation to fall from the sky. Grow even in fear. Work even without guarantees. Do it for yourself. Discipline isn't punishment. It's a gift for your future. It's putting aside what holds you back to make room for what strengthens you. It's letting go of small desires to achieve something much greater. This is about taking care of your mind, body, and choices. It's about stopping the excuses and starting to act seriously. It may be tiring, quiet, even lonely, but that's where the magic happens. The Stoics weren't seeking comfort, they were after character. Epictetus said that instead of waiting for the world to adapt to you, it's better to adjust to the world. In other words, you can't wait for everything to be perfect to take life seriously. What matters is your attitude, with firmness, clarity, and courage. You may not control everything, but you can learn to control yourself, and that's already a tremendous power. Perhaps no one sees what you're doing right now, but one day you'll look back and realize how much you've grown through effort and dedication. What seems small today will be what sustains your strength tomorrow. So get out of autopilot mode. Observe your habits. Think more carefully about your choices. Get out of bed with purpose, because the life you want won't just appear out of nowhere. It's made of your intention, courage, and consistency. Living seriously means not running aimlessly, but moving with direction. Lesson 2. Prioritize your growth. How many times do you dedicate yourself to everything and everyone, but forget about yourself? You meet deadlines, bear pressure, solve others' problems. But when it comes to taking care of yourself, your mind, your purpose, nothing happens. This is the reality for many. They do everything to maintain what they have, but do almost nothing to become who they could be. They are always busy, yet they don't progress. They do a lot, but evolve little. It's like running on a treadmill. You're moving, but you're not getting anywhere. Taking care of your growth isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. You might have a good salary, but true freedom only comes with knowledge, clarity, and the autonomy to make good decisions. Developing yourself prepares you for changes, challenges, and the leaps that life demands. Seneca said that while we are among people, we must be human, and that comes with virtue, not with titles or status. What truly matters isn't what you have, but who you are inside, and that's only built when you treat yourself as a priority. Valuing your growth means making time, not excuses. It's getting up a little earlier to reflect. It's reading something that makes you think instead of just scrolling through your phone. It's rejecting distractions that weaken you and choosing habits that uplift you. It's taking care of how you speak, your health, and your emotions. It's about getting out of autopilot mode and taking control of your own life. While many wait for luck to change, you plant the seeds of your transformation. Every time you study, practice, or observe yourself, you are preparing for something that is yet to come. Because opportunity only appears for those who are ready. The world rewards those who take the initiative, who prepare in silence, who build value from the inside out. The Stoics teach that true strength comes from within. Epictetus said that what matters isn't what happens to us, but how we respond to what happens. And to act wisely, we need to be constantly growing. Those who don't grow repeat the same mistakes. Those who don't know themselves get lost. Those who don't strengthen themselves break easily. So look at yourself more seriously. Ask, who am I becoming? Because in the end, everything you have can change, but who you are, that's something no one can take away. And if you are strong inside, nothing can bring you down from the outside. Lesson 3. Set clear goals. Do you have any idea where you want to go, or are you just going with the flow? Many people live on autopilot. They work, pay bills, fulfill tasks, but hardly anyone stops to think, where am I headed? Without a plan, life becomes a repetition. You do a lot but don't make progress. It's like walking without a destination. Eventually, you'll hit exhaustion and frustration. Knowing what you want is like turning on a light in the midst of confusion. It helps you focus, saves energy, and gives meaning to your efforts. You don't need a giant dream. What matters is having direction. When you have clarity, you know what to avoid and what's worth pursuing. Marcus Aurelius said that when you follow your reason, you stop caring so much about what others think. Those with focus don't waste time trying to please everyone. Having goals also helps organize your mind and change your way of acting. To grow, it's not enough to work hard. You need to know where you're headed. And this starts with simple questions. What do I want? Why do I want this? Am I ready to face what comes along? You can change your path in the middle of the journey, and that's okay. What's important is not to wander aimlessly. Those who don't know what they want live by others' plans. Having a clear objective also requires patience. Not everything happens quickly, but knowing where you want to go gives you the strength to keep going, because those with vision can endure the wait. Lesson 4. Avoid shortcuts. If there were an easy way to become a wise person, everyone would have already done it. But the shortest paths often end in frustration. What comes easy, goes easy, and what is quick is not always solid. These days, everything moves fast. Promises of success in a few days, miracle recipes, instant solutions. But Stoic philosophy teaches the opposite. Take it slow, think carefully, and build steadily. Seneca said it's nobler to resist desires and face difficulties with reason. Real growth takes effort. It's in this struggle that character is born. Shortcuts may seem appealing at first, but they come with a cost later. The workout you skip, the conversation you avoid, the book you don't read, all of this accumulates. Sooner or later, you'll miss what you didn't do. The longer path is where real change resides. It's where you get to know yourself, learn patience, and gain strength. The process may be slow, but it is solid, and it is worth it. Avoiding shortcuts takes courage. It's accepting that it will take time, but it will be lasting. Those who build steadily lay a strong foundation. Epictetus said that nothing great arises suddenly. Everything that has value comes with practice, effort, and time. So stay committed, even if others seem to be moving faster, because those who build with authenticity will go further. Lesson 5. Truly know yourself. Have you ever taken the time to really look at yourself? Not just in the mirror, but inwardly. Have you tried to understand why you react the way you do? What are your pains, your fears, your patterns? Most people try to understand the world but forget to understand themselves. Without self-knowledge, we repeat mistakes, live on autopilot, and blame everything but ourselves. Self-awareness is like a map in the wilderness. Those who know themselves know where they step, what they need to change, and what is just getting in the way. Epictetus said that those who dedicate themselves to self-improvement have no time to judge others. This isn't selfishness, it's maturity. Before wanting to change the world, we need to learn to deal with our own minds. Getting to know yourself isn't easy. It involves digging into things we often avoid, but it's those difficult questions that liberate us. Because when you understand your emotions, you start to act with awareness rather than impulse. That's when your true strength begins to emerge. You learn to say no, to distance yourself from those who drag you down, and to care for yourself with respect, not as someone who hides from their mistakes, but as someone who learns from them. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the soul strengthens when it looks within. It's in silence and reflection that you find true balance. And everything that comes from this place has deep roots. Knowing yourself also means accepting that you are a work in progress. There's still so much good inside you waiting to bloom. So take time to think, write, meditate, and talk with those who help you grow. Real growth takes courage to see yourself as you are. Lesson 6. Visualize your goals and the path to them. Before any achievement, it starts in the mind. Everything that exists began as an idea, a dream, something invisible until it became real. What you clearly imagine, feel intensely, and pursue with discipline will eventually become reality. But be warned, it's not enough just to wish. Visualizing isn't fantasizing, nor is it waiting for things to happen on their own. It's about visualizing with intention, clearly seeing what you want and the path to get there. Because without knowing the path, the goal remains in the realm of illusion. Marcus Aurelius said, "The quality of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." If you live in doubt, fear, or distraction, you're already sabotaging your chances before you even act. But if you train your mind to see the journey, the challenges, choices, and necessary efforts, you'll be better prepared for reality. Visualizing is to see with the eyes of your mind what is not yet visible. It's about creating clarity on what you want, why you want it, and what you're willing to do to get there. Every morning, remind yourself, "This is my path, and I will follow it." This way, you create an internal map, and the more detailed it is, the firmer your direction will be during tough times. But remember, don't just visualize the victory, visualize the process too. See yourself acting with discipline, facing difficulties, and overcoming laziness. This prepares your mind to withstand frustration and keep moving forward, even without immediate results. This helps develop resilience, a Stoic virtue. Epictetus said, "First, tell yourself what you would be, and then do what needs to be done." Visualizing is aligning clarity, intention, and action. Don't wait for the universe to act for you. Act alongside it. When your thoughts and actions unite, results will appear. Take time to visualize. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Picture yourself living the life you desire. Feel the decisions, the weight and lightness of each choice. Feel yourself there, but with your feet firmly in the present, because that's where change begins. The mind plans, the body executes, the soul sustains. Lesson 7. Luck smiles on those who prepare. Many people call it luck when, in fact, it's the result of preparation. When someone grows, achieves, or progresses, others think, "He got lucky." But what they don't see are the hours of silent work, the studies without deadlines, the mental training, and the daily effort. What looks like luck to an observer is pure preparation for those who act. Opportunities don't arise out of nowhere. They appear because you were ready to seize them. While many rested, you were honing your skills. When others doubted, you stayed committed. When it seemed like nothing was happening, you kept planting seeds. The mistake is expecting life to deliver something great without having done the work to sustain it. Opportunities arise, but for those unprepared, they can feel like a burden or a risk. For those who have prepared, an opportunity is the chance to apply everything they have cultivated. That's why they say luck smiles on those who prepare. It's not about predicting the future, but about being ready when the chance comes. It's having clarity and internal structure when the decision arrives. This only happens for those who train every day, even without an immediate reason to do so. Science confirms that those who constantly invest in their own learning and development see more and better opportunities. They don't see obstacles, they see possibilities. And that's why they advance. Not because the path is easy, but because they are prepared for it. If you want to change your life, start preparing today for what is yet to come. Improve your skills, read more, learn, grow. Surround yourself with people who motivate you. Study what no one has asked you to. While others wait for luck, you build it. Many say, "If the right opportunity arises, I'll give it my best." But the truth is, you'll only give your best if you've already been practicing. The time to prepare isn't when the goal appears. It's before. Stoics knew this. They didn't trust circumstances, but rather their own character. Epictetus said, "Don't ask for things to happen as you wish. Wish for them to happen as they must, and you will live in peace." It's not the world that needs to be more generous with you. It's you who needs to be stronger inside. Opportunities come, but they only stay with those who know how to seize them. Lesson 8. Stand firm. Life will test you. You are not an exception. You will face difficulties, losses, frustrations, difficult people, and tough days. What will determine whether you withstand or crumble is not what happens to you, but the strength of your mind. A weak mind is easily overwhelmed by chaos, gets irritated quickly, despairs over delays, and loses itself in failure. A strong mind, on the other hand, is not cold or insensitive. It is firm and trained, capable of maintaining focus even when everything around seems chaotic. This strength doesn't emerge from nowhere. It is built daily. Having a strong mindset means understanding that things won't always go the way you want, but you can still maintain control over yourself. It's about learning to breathe before reacting, to observe before judging, and to act with clarity rather than impulse. You may not control events, but you can control how you react to them. Marcus Aurelius said, "If you are distressed by something, the pain is not due to the situation, but the way you see it, and that you can change." This is the mental strength of the Stoics. Reality may be harsh, but how you face it is what truly matters. Training your mind is as important as training your body. It means strengthening your thoughts through reading, daily reflections, and silence. Exposing yourself to uncomfortable situations helps expand your resilience. Every challenge faced with purpose increases your capacity to endure and grow. But be careful. A strong mindset is not rigidity. It is flexibility with firmness. It's knowing when to adapt without losing yourself. It's understanding that there are moments to retreat, but never to give up. It's about falling and getting up with wisdom, maintaining focus even amidst doubts. The Stoics did not seek a life free of difficulties, but rather an inner preparation for any challenge. Epictetus said that adversity does not weaken a strong person. It merely reveals who they truly are. So, create within yourself a space of firmness, a place where your peace does not depend on the world being in order. Train your mind to endure and to transcend, to find clarity amidst chaos and to uphold your values even when everything around tries to divert you from them. Lesson 9. The power that comes from within. You may have support, resources, and opportunities, but if you lack inner strength, none of that will be enough. Ultimately, the foundation of your life is you, and if that foundation is weak, any obstacle will become an unbearable weight. There is a power that comes from within. It does not depend on praise, luck, or constant motivation. It is a silent strength that arises when you know yourself, align with your values, and set goals with purpose. Goals that come from the soul, not the ego. Stoicism teaches us that true greatness is invisible. It is built in thoughts, choices, and the intention with which you live each day. Seneca said, "If a man does not know to what port he is sailing, no wind is favorable." In other words, it's not enough to want to win. You must know why you want to win and what it means to you. When your goals are aligned with your purpose, you stop living according to others' expectations. You cease to act automatically, jumping from task to task, hoping that external recognition will fill an internal void. You begin to build with clarity and direct your energy wisely. This inner power does not shout, it sustains. It appears when you are tired, but keep going. When no one recognizes your efforts, but you stay steadfast because you know why you started. When you refuse shortcuts because your commitment is to truth, not to the appearance of success. Goals without purpose drain you. They may seem significant, but inside, they are empty. In contrast, goals aligned with your purpose empower you. They drive you forward even on tough days because you understand you are on the right path. Epictetus said, "Do not seek to be praised, but be worthy of praise." This is the essence of the power that comes from within. You do not live to prove anything to anyone, but to fulfill a calling. And those who live like this become unshakable, because their strength comes from something that no one can take away. So, if today your life feels heavy, it might be time to redefine what you are pursuing. Ask yourself, what do I truly want that makes sense to me? Or is it just another empty goal, influenced by comparison or fear? When your goals are true, your path becomes firmer. Even if it takes time, you move forward because you know you are heading in the right direction. Lesson 10. Purpose in every step. Life is not just made up of grand moments, but of small choices you make every day. It's the daily steps that shape who you become. Every action, no matter how small it seems, has the power to bring you closer to or further from what you desire. What truly changes everything is not a major goal achieved, but the purpose you infuse into each action. Stoicism teaches us that value lies not just in achievement, but in the journey. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Life is short, but it is sufficient to live well if you live according to nature." Living according to nature doesn't mean merely reacting to what happens, but having direction. This means giving purpose to every action. When you wake up with a clear objective, even simple tasks like walking, eating, or working become steps toward the person you want to be. Having purpose in every action means not waiting for the perfect moment to act, but doing what you can now. It means understanding that the daily path, even without recognition, is what shapes you. What you do every minute matters. Therefore, instead of chasing grand achievements at any cost, live with intention. Infuse purpose into the small things. Having clarity in each action provides more strength than the relentless pursuit of distant goals. But remember, purpose is not obsession or haste. Purpose is discipline. It's choosing what is important and sticking to it, even when motivation wanes and results take time. True strength is not seen in quick victories, but in the persistence of those who choose to live with purpose, day after day. When you act with purpose, what seemed a burden becomes part of your growth. It's not hard work that tires you, but a lack of purpose. When your actions align with your objective, the effort becomes lighter because you know you are moving in the right direction. The Stoic does not seek a life free of difficulties, but the ability to face them with balance. Epictetus said, "It doesn't matter what happens to you, but how you react to it." Reactions come from within. When every step you take has a clear purpose, your mind grows stronger. You don't lose yourself in chaos because you know where you're headed. So ask yourself every day, what is the purpose of what I'm doing right now? How does this bring me closer to the person I want to be? When you answer these questions with clarity, you find strength in everything you do. Your routine stops being an empty cycle and transforms into a practice of alignment. The simple act of waking up becomes a commitment to your truth. Lesson 11. Organize your schedule to work for you. Time is valuable. It is the only resource that, once lost, never returns. Yet many people live as if they have infinite time, postponing commitments and getting distracted by things that don't add value. The truth is, if you don't take control of your schedule, it will control you. Seneca warned about the waste of time. The greatest illness is not living according to your nature, but being busy with what does not matter. The key is to be intentional with your time. Organizing your schedule isn't just about filling time slots. It's ensuring that your daily actions align with your purpose. First, you need to understand that managing time starts with managing your attention. In a world full of distractions, your attention is the most precious asset you have. The first step is to eliminate what is unimportant. Always ask yourself, is this task leading me where I want to go? If the answer is no, set that distraction aside. Stoicism teaches us that self-discipline is the key to true freedom. Organizing your schedule is about training your ability to be disciplined and intentional with your time. It's not about being perfect, but about being consistent. This means setting aside time for what truly matters: your personal growth, your work, your relationships, and your well-being. Marcus Aurelius said, "What is not useful for the hive is not useful for the bee." In the same way, what is not useful for your purpose should not have space in your schedule. Ultimately, organizing your schedule is about making decisions on what will aid your development. This requires courage, as sometimes you have to say no to what seems urgent but is not important. True organization comes from habit. The important thing is not to create a perfect schedule occasionally, but to adopt a solid and consistent routine. Plan your day in advance. At the end of each day, think about what you can do the next day to get closer to your goals. Set specific times for each activity and make discipline a daily commitment. But remember, organizing your schedule doesn't mean living a rigid life without flexibility. Stoicism values self-control but also prioritizes adaptability. There's no point in having a perfect schedule if you can't handle unexpected events calmly. Have a structure, but be flexible enough to adjust when necessary. When you organize your schedule for your benefit, you begin to see time not as something to be consumed, but as something to be invested. Every hour, every minute is a chance to make progress. If you invest your time in what truly matters, you are building a solid foundation for your evolution. Even if some days don't go as planned, the confidence that you are on the right path keeps you grounded. Lesson 12. Experience is lived and observed. Life is made up of moments, some in which we are fully engaged in what we are doing, and others where we are merely observing what is happening around us. True wisdom doesn't come just from living, but from reflecting on what we have lived. This ability to pause and think about experiences transforms simple events into valuable lessons. The Stoics were masters at observing themselves and the world. Epictetus said, "We should not worry about external events, but about how we react to them." This teaches us that experience is not just about what happens to us, but about how we choose to see and respond to each situation. We live experiences intensely, but we also need to observe our own reactions, feelings, and thoughts. Often, we get lost in emotions and the pressures of daily life, forgetting to pause and observe. Hasty action teaches us nothing. Reflection, the pause to understand what is happening inside and outside of us, turns experience into wisdom. When you consciously observe, you begin to understand what you've learned, what could have been different, and what really matters. The Stoic does not get lost in the drama of life, but sees it with clarity, without judgment, and without being dominated by emotions. To live fully is not to be always busy, but to be present in the moment and to perceive what is happening around you and within you. Each experience, whether good or difficult, has something to teach us, but only if we are willing to truly see what it can offer. To observe is also to act wisely. It's about not reacting automatically to stimuli, but responding according to what is truly important. This is what the Stoics call self-discipline. They did not deny life or difficulties, but faced them with a reflective mindset, always seeking to act rationally. By observing attentively, we learn to distinguish what should be cultivated in our minds and what should be discarded. With this, we recognize the patterns that guide our decisions and manage to free ourselves from impulsive reactions. Instead of being a victim of circumstances, you become the master of your attitudes, responses, and choices. Lesson 13. Patience for future rewards. Patience is not waiting without doing anything. It is trusting that by investing effort in the present, the future will bring the rewards you deserve. We live in a world where we want everything quickly, but true wisdom lies in understanding that everything worth having takes time, effort, and patience. Zeno of Citium, the father of Stoicism, said, "He who cannot control himself will not be able to control anything." This teaches us that patience is an essential virtue. Waiting is not a sign of weakness, but of inner strength. It's knowing that things happen at the right moment and trusting the process of growth. Cicero also reflected on this, stating, "Greatness comes from perseverance, not from haste. True success comes from consistency and the ability to face challenges with tranquility." It's not about being fast, but about staying steadfast, regardless of difficulties. When you infuse patience into your journey, you start to see time as an ally, not an enemy. Each step, sacrifice, and action in the present builds the foundation for what you wish to achieve. Heraclitus said, "Nature demands what is difficult. It is through difficulties that we become stronger." The challenge is to understand that patience does not mean stopping, but trusting that the process is part of growth. It's not about waiting without doing anything, but acting with perseverance while you wait. When you invest in your future with clarity and focus, you can be sure that, even if the return takes time, it will come. Nothing that is truly important comes quickly. Contrary to what many believe, the waiting time is not wasted. It is when your resilience grows. Seneca teaches us that time is the most precious commodity we have. By being patient, you are not just waiting. You are using that time to grow, improve, and strengthen your abilities. What seems like waiting now will be seen in the future as time well spent. Don't rush to reach the end of the path. Trust that daily effort and patience will lead you to where you need to be. The true reward comes to those who dedicate themselves now, with the certainty that the future will reflect the work done with calmness and intention. Now head to the comments and write, "I practice patience because I know that the reward comes at the right time. I am Stoic." Write with the conviction that you are on the right path, and that each step, no matter how small it may seem, brings you closer to the great transformation you seek. Lesson 14. Practice leads to perfection. Perfection is not a final destination, but a continuous journey. What truly transforms your life is not impulsive actions done occasionally, but what you do every day with intention. Each step you take, no matter how small, shapes who you are. Do not underestimate the power of small, repeated actions. If you exercise your body every day, it becomes strong. If you feed your mind with daily knowledge, it becomes wiser. If you act with discipline every day, you become a reliable and consistent person. It's not about doing everything at once, but about acting consistently. The problem is that many people do not see the value in small daily actions. They think that if they don't do something big, it's not worth it. But the truth is that small actions repeated every day are what truly change your life. When this becomes a habit, effort decreases, but impact increases. Choose one habit, just one. Don't try to change everything at once. Start with something simple that, if maintained, will bring benefits to other areas of your life. It could be meditating for 5 minutes every day, writing a page daily, or reading for 10 minutes every morning. The important thing is to repeat every day, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Repetition is the path to transformation. At first, you may not see results. You might even feel like you're achieving nothing, but that's part of the process. What you're training is not just your body or mind. You are training your character. You are showing yourself that you can trust yourself to keep your commitments. When you become a person of your word with yourself, everything begins to change. It's not about being perfect. It's about being there every day. Even if you fail, get back up. Even if you're late, pick up where you left off. Even if you have doubts, keep going. Repetition is the key. Consistency is proof of your commitment. What seems difficult today will be natural tomorrow. That's what makes repetition powerful. It transforms the difficult into something easy, the unknown into something familiar, the new into part of who you are. If you ever wonder how you got to where you are today, think about the habits you've repeated, good or bad. Everything you think, feel, and do has been shaped by repetition. So, if you are already repeating something every day, why not consciously choose what you will repeat? Use that power to your advantage. Take control. Make repetition your ally. In Stoicism, this practice is fundamental. Marcus Aurelius wrote every day, not for others, but for himself. He repeated his reflections because he knew the mind needs repetition to internalize what is valuable. Epictetus said that it's not enough to understand something. You must live and repeat it. Virtue is not a pretty thought, but a daily practice. Make your daily repetition a declaration of who you are becoming. It's not just about creating a habit, but deciding who you want to be. Each day is a chance to create a new version of yourself. What prevails is not who has the most talent, but who does not give up, who repeats, who continues, who persists. Do not seek quick results. Focus on solid habits. Don't think about what you will achieve in a month. Think about what you are willing to repeat for years. The formula is simple. Daily action with intention, without waiting for motivation or recognition. Just you, your commitment, and your daily decision to move forward. And one day, without realizing it, you will become the person you always wanted to be, not by luck, but by having persisted, day after day, with purpose. Lesson 15. The power of silence. In an increasingly noisy world, where we are constantly bombarded with words and information, silence becomes a rare and powerful art. Silence is not just the absence of sound, but the presence of reflection, self-awareness, and inner peace. It is the space where the mind finds clarity and the heart finds balance. Thomas Merton, a monk and philosopher, said, "Silence is the deepest form of prayer. When we allow ourselves to be silent, we create space for our minds to align with reason and deep reflection. Silence gives us the time to observe before reacting, to listen to ourselves before speaking, and allows us to make wiser decisions without the rush of the world around us. Silence is not an escape from words, but an invitation to speak wisely when necessary. When we speak without thinking, we risk losing the true value of our communication. It is in quietness that we learn to choose our words with more intention and precision, making our voices more authentic and considered. Lao Tzu, a Chinese philosopher, taught, "He who knows how to speak does not speak much." This teaching reminds us that silence teaches us to listen more attentively to both others and ourselves. In silence, we better understand the situation, absorb what is essential, and gain clarity on what truly matters. Choosing to be silent is also a way to control our emotions. When we face challenges, it is common to react impulsively, defending our point of view or justifying ourselves. However, by opting for silence, we gain time to breathe, reflect, and act with more balance. As the Socratics taught, silence is a form of self-control, allowing us to reflect before acting, ensuring our reactions are balanced and well-founded. The power of silence. Silence is a way to show respect. When we practice silence, we create space to truly listen to others, seeking to understand rather than merely respond. In silence, we can hear with more empathy, creating a deeper and more harmonious communication. Do not underestimate the power of silence. It is not merely the absence of sound. It is a presence that brings clarity, control, and respect. By embracing silence, you create space to act with greater wisdom and intention in all areas of life. Lesson 16. Learn to say no. We live in a world full of distractions and demands. Often, we feel pressured to say yes to everything to please others or meet expectations. However, true freedom comes from knowing when to say no. The Stoics taught us the importance of choosing what truly deserves our attention and energy. For instance, Zeno spoke about the need to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. Often, this requires a firm no. Saying no to what distracts us from our goals or overwhelms us is also an act of self-respect. It means choosing what aligns with our values and purposes. This isn't about closing ourselves off from the world or being selfish. Saying no is about prioritizing what is most important for our growth and well-being, as well as rejecting patterns and habits that harm us. When you learn to say no, you gain control over your time and energy. True freedom isn't about living without responsibilities, but having the ability to choose where to focus your attention. Saying no is a silent yet transformative power. By refusing what doesn't serve your purpose, you create more space to grow, learn, and live according to your truth. Lesson 17. Find the strength within you. Life is filled with challenges and obstacles, but true strength doesn't lie in avoiding difficulties. It lies in how we respond to them. Real strength comes from self-sufficiency. It's not about shouting or exerting power, but about moving forward, even when there's no recognition and no one is watching. True strength is found in consistency, in the daily habit of staying focused. Accepting that life is unpredictable is part of that strength. We don't need to control everything around us, but we should have control over how we react to any situation. In difficult moments, we demonstrate our true strength. It's not when everything is easy, but when we face challenges with courage and serenity. As Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Every challenge, pain, or failure is an opportunity for growth. True strength lies in learning from these difficulties, and with each fall, rising stronger. True strength also lies in maintaining your values, even when everything around you is crumbling. Confucius said, "Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." Therefore, strength isn't found outside of you. It resides within, in your ability to remain steadfast amidst life's storms. It's not about being perfect. It's about being resilient and staying true to who you are, even when circumstances try to divert you from your path. Lesson 18. Control your emotions before they control you. Feeling is part of being human. Anger, fear, sadness, anxiety, all these emotions are a part of life. But when you react without thinking, without control, you hand over the reins of your life to these emotions. You become a hostage to your impulses, dominated by fleeting feelings. The difference between those who live in peace and those who live in conflict is not what they feel, but what they do with what they feel. The Stoics didn't advocate for being cold, they advocated for having control. They understood that we can't eliminate emotions, but we can learn to recognize them without letting them consume us. The philosopher Musonius Rufus, who was a teacher of Epictetus, said that philosophy teaches us to endure and overcome our passions. He believed that the development of character was the most powerful tool for achieving inner calm, the balance that makes us masters of ourselves. When you control your emotions, you act with freedom. You don't lose your temper in traffic. You don't let anxiety dominate you. You don't give up on something because of a fleeting insecurity. You observe what you're feeling, understand where it comes from, and decide to act wisely. This is power. This is maturity. This is freedom. The philosopher Plotinus said that those who cannot control their emotions are like a city without protection, vulnerable, exposed, at the mercy of any problem. Self-control is the internal barrier, the shield that protects you from acting impulsively, from ruining relationships out of pride, from saying something wrong in the heat of anger. However, controlling emotions is not easy. It requires practice. It requires attention. It means pausing for a moment before responding. It means taking a deep breath before judging. It means writing, reflecting, analyzing your own patterns. It means recognizing that often your reaction is more tied to your wounded ego than to what actually happened. Controlling emotions is like training a muscle. Each time you choose calmness, you strengthen your mind. Each time you resist the impulse and choose to think clearly, you move closer to your best self. You become more reliable, more stable, more wise. And the world respects those who don't lose control over trivial matters. So, do not fight to avoid feeling. Fight to avoid being dominated. You can feel everything that comes your way, but you never have to act as if that's all there is. You are greater than that. You have a mind that can think before acting and a heart that can feel without losing balance. I truly hope this message has been helpful. I want to congratulate you for making it this far and watching until the end. This shows that you want to improve. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment. If you don't know what to say, just write gratitude, and I'll know you watched until the end. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe now and join us. Stoicism is full of lessons like this that can be applied to our daily lives. So, keep learning about this philosophy. I'll leave you with 2 videos full of Stoic wisdom for you to continue your journey. See you next time.